talk to me a little bit about families during this time, Jaci. Both the good and the bad. Suddenly parents they've not necessarily become the teachers, but they have become the facilitators in many ways of education. And often the challenge is not just one child, it's 2 children in a family, it's 3 children, it's a multitude of different devices, and mom and dad trying to work remotely as well. What pressures has this put on families, both in a good way and in a bad way, during lockdown?
We need to salute all the parents. You know, teacher training in itself takes a long time, and then you need years of experience to feel competent anyway. And parents who have been thrown into the deep end, in so many ways, I think the stress that it's placed on families cannot be dismissed. And we as schools have to thank the parents. There needs to be a ceremony of thankfulness, of appreciation for what they have done. And I don't think we need to be too hard on ourselves as parents. We've done the best that we can. I think there might be times when you feel like you were too harsh with your child, or you didn't make them do enough work, or you didn't complete work. There could be so many negatives, and that you need to sit down together as a family and say, this is what we gained, this is what we didn't do well.
So be quite cerebral about it.
Yes, and to apologize. Maybe I wasn't the best teacher for you, but firstly, I'm your mom and I'm your dad, I'm your caregiver. But on the upside, I think there have been so many positives. Children have spoken to me and said they've bonded with their parents, or their parents now see how difficult school is for them and are finding extra support for them. They've seen how creative their parents are in teaching them, or they've seen that actually their parents also struggle with certain concepts. It's been a learning curve, and I think there are more positives than negatives.
You know, in the reviews that we have every week with our teachers on how the week's gone in terms of online learning, a lot of parents have opened up in the questionnaires that we've sent out, because we've asked parents every week, how's it going, how's it going? And they've spoken openly about the frustrations, but also the gains, the benefits and that they've got out of it. And in many instances, they've understood what the challenges are for teachers on a day-to-day basis as well, which
That's
is
for sure.
that has been something that they've written about and which we've appreciated. But I really like your idea of having a parent celebration. Jaci, that's a great idea, and it's certainly something I think we should be doing here at St. Patrick's. Let's just move back a bit now, though, to the question of anxiety. We made the point earlier in our discussion that children who are prone to anxiety anyway may well exhibit further anxiety about going back into an environment where which they possibly perceive to be threatening. Kind of advice that you would give teachers in making that transition with individuals who evidently are very uncertain and emotionally at odds with themselves about this whole new experience?
Well, certainly if anxiety has never visited you before, you now know firsthand what anxiety is. Our whole country does. And now we have anticipatory anxiety of what is next. And so for everybody, you know, if you know Dan Siegel's hand model of the brain, where he says that when we start being aroused because we are anxious, we flip our frontal cortex. So we cannot think rationally, we cannot make wise, good decisions, high quality decisions. And what happens is the amygdala gets hijacked and we go into a fight, fright, or freeze. So these children, the ones that go into fight, will be antagonistic. They might be angry with the teacher. You know, you left me with my parents. Do you know that they are not teachers? Children might be very upset with their friends for not contacting them. So there could be that underlying, I want to fight with everybody. Children are just ready. Don't poke me because I'm going to get you. They might tell more tales. They just a little bit, they get annoyed easily. So we're looking for those things and knowing that it's rooted in anxiety. We get the children who want to flee. Every time you do something, they want to go to the bathroom. Or they don't want to do the work. They can't start the work, they can't finish the work. They get a helpless way about them because they want to flee the situation, because they're in their emotional brain. And for children to learn, we need them to be in their prefrontal cortex to access learning. Or we'll get the children who are frozen. It's almost as though they are paralyzed. There's a low-grade depression in them. And they feel that they can't do it. They lack motivation. They can't get started. So these are the things that teachers need to look out for. And it's important that we regulate emotions and give opportunity for everybody to get into the classroom, calm down, speak about their concerns, use certain rituals to regulate the nervous system so that every child can access learning.
If I can interrupt you there, Jaci, would it be a good idea when children return, particularly younger classes I'm talking about, so pre-prep, to actually spend a significant amount of time when they get back talking about their experiences in class?
Talk is always good.
Yeah.
Little children speak to us through play.
Yes.
You know, so it will be build what you feel using Play-Doh.
Draw it. Yep.
Draw it. So we will use and using sensory objects.
Yeah.
But I think that we need to be talking the solution and the strengths we've encountered in ourselves. The good stories. Let's make it a good story. What happened? What did we come through? What did our family find out about themselves? So it's the stories of strength. If we re-authoring
the ones
this,
that have led to success and so on.
yes, the joyful moments.
So don't get bogged down in how badly it went, rather talk about the really good stuff that came out of it.
Yeah, so even in our family, we fought a lot, and we find out that that's how we connect and we bond. So it's telling those stories and weaving them into the class to bring unity within the class. We all have a story, and it's a good story.
Jaci, as a educational psychologist, someone who has a vast experience, what would be, just identify the three things, this is just the question I'm throwing out there, what would you identify as the three things that you would consider to be the most important for children coming back into a school situation?
I think to see it as another transition, which is not easy for everybody. And parents might say, well, you're going back to school, you've been there before. No, this is different. Give each person time to get used to things and space. I think check in on emotional well-being. Make that the emphasis. How are you managing within yourself internally? And I think we need to look at our strengths, where we've come from, how much we've achieved.
Yeah.
And that we were obedient. We listened to our leaders. We cooperated. We bonded with our family. We spent time together. Let's look at what we have received during this time and take that with us, not forget about that, and to know that we are restoring. We are entering a new chapter. And let's build a good chapter.
Yes, I love that answer, because I get a sense that when parents and children and teachers reflect, we need to integrate those good experiences into how we move forward, and make them more part of our daily lives than just simply dump them and say, well, that was COVID. So what, we go back to the way we used to do stuff. And I think if we do that, we're losing out on a great opportunity to make necessary changes. So yeah, Jaci, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for coming to St. Patrick's today.
Thank you for inviting me. I always love being at your school.
It's a pleasure always to have you here. Thank you, guys.